Jai Hind. I am Manmohan Chawla, and again I have come to talk to you my thoughts on the same point, that is the Chinese virus, or we can call it a coronavirus. Well, this virus is a number three weapon after biochemicals, a weapon developed in First World War, and in Second World War the nuclear weapons. Is it a third weapon to be used, or it is just another kind of disease which we had before, like influenza, HIV, or polio? Let's The world is not yet clear whether it is a third kind of weapon against the humanity, or it is still a kind of disease. Nations are busy, people are busy in defending and struggling with the virus, and there is lockdown in every country, including India and USA. The maximum number of the virus affected people is in the most powerful country in the world, that is USA. And the minimum number of the people affected because of this virus is right now and today is in India. Well, let me talk to you about the commercial or economic or the investment impact on India, vice versa with the Western world. What is likely to happen? As you know, that India is struggling with this economy, definitely after this virus, and the negative growth is likely or is sure to take place. Now, the question is how long and how fast India can grow from the negative GDP to the positive GDP. It is only a guesswork that is going to take some time or not, or how long. Well, let me say about it that the this statement of Raghu Rajan, the governor of Reserve Bank of India, very recently he said that his fear is, and rather is right fear, that the country like India is in a what's called deficit, for fiscal deficit. In 2018 and 19, the figures show that the fiscal deficit was about 6.5 lakh crores, and in 2020 and 2021, it is projected at about 8 lakh crore. That means rising. Similarly, the revenue deficit is a 4.5 in 2018 and 19, which is projected for the 2020 and 21. That is about 6.09 lakh crore. Now, this is the stage as on date. What is going to happen after this impact of the virus because of the lockdown? Well, this is the one point. We can say it. But there are other things also. But when the question was raised that has India got the capacity to rise up in the present circumstances, he definitely said, yes, India has the capacity. I am agreeing to this point and echoing his sentiments. That is, whether India has the capacity or not, we have to go through and examine the past history of various problems as to how India has faced and come out of it. If we look back, the historical things, events, at the time of the uh, Pokhran test, India faced a sanction from Western power, USA, and other Western powers, and faced for a pretty long time. But they could stand with this economy and could bail out themselves and stand as a strong nation. Even in 1965, they faced a war. 1962, they faced it. And 1971, of course, was a favorable situation. But they had continued struggling and worked hard for that and came out of these problems. Even in the recession of 2008, India was able to come out successfully. Now the question is, can presently India, who is likely to go to the negative growth, can come to the positive growth, that is the GDP, and can carry on, and how long and how much time it's going to take. Let's examine and analyze some other factors to arrive at the right conclusion. If we look at the history in the year 1830, then you'll see it almost all the countries, including India, had no technological development. It was only in 1860 that there was an industrial revolution in the Western world, and as a result, their economy has gone up many folds. In 1830, the GDP of India was highest, that was over 25%, whereas the GDP that time was not even close to 5% in the present developed countries. Now, with the revolution which took place in 1860 and onwards, carried on for 100 years, that type of technology was never transferred to India. Why? Because that time the India was under the rulership of United Kingdom. No, they did not allow that technology to come up. Now, as a result, they were not able to grow their GDP. When the Britishers left, the GDP was much lower, 5 times less than the Western world. Now, let's see now after the Industrial Revolution, there are other kind of revolutions which have come presently. That is information technology and the communication technology. In these sectors, India is not behind. They are very close to the Western, only few years they are behind, but they are catching up very fast, and you all know it. The intellectualism of the Indian young people, how far they have expanded their hands in the Western world. The image and the progress which they have made in the communication system, as well as in the information technology, just from the last few years only, and it has multiplied. This multiplication of this kind of revolution is definitely going to help. And these are the two technologies. India can make best use of it and can import the foreign investment in these industries. Now, to have any foreign investment in this country, there are certain important factors which the country like India and the people of the country has to keep in mind, is that the capital form of economy, which is all over the world right now, any investor would not like to invest unless that has got the profit. Now, profit motive is the main attraction. Now, a country like India, it need not to stress more on those kind of industries which have already been settled in a country like China. If some of the investors, like foreign investors, like in USA or the Western countries, want to reallocate their industries, that is most welcome. But there are other industries also where India can concentrate, like that of information technology, producing chips and otherwise, and got like that of cell phones industries or the medical industries. Like that, there are certain other kind of industries also where you need the human IQ. Human IQ means, in a sense, where you need more of a brainy work rather than the handwork, which is called a manufacturing. Indians by nature are not very comfortable or not very aggressive with the manufacturing aptitude, whereas they have lot of aptitude, and it is their intrinsic value that their brain works faster in type of information technology where the brain is required to be used. I think that is the area where India can concentrate for inviting the investment in that our country, and for that purpose, of course, any investor would like to have a comfortable situation. How this comfort can be created for the foreign investors? They are not going to put the money just for the sake of or out of the love, but only because they will get a good return. If equal opportunities are provided to the foreigners, I am sure and I believe strongly that they will be ready to come to this country because of two more fundamental reasons. One is that India is a democratic country, and there other governments who have got the money in their hand, they are also democratic country. Second is the English speaking people. The number of people in India who speak English are more than the number of the total population of a country like USA. So this is a very comfortable situation where you can have an easy access. Now there are other things also that there the where the we have to keep the things in mind. That is the government, stable government, strong leadership, over and above the rules and regulations, not only the simply rule and law and justice. There are other institutions like a bank, financial institutions. Then there are other institutions that work with the government and the private sector and the people. Those institutions like a judiciary or other kind of institutions which facilitate the movement of the people and the make comfortable to the investors. One of the important things which I want to say is that, which I feel it from my personal experience also, that that is what? That is that the Babus, the IS cadre which is between the political setup and the consumer setup, that is the investor. Now their mindset has to be very much improved in a sense that the kind of kingship which sets in their mind, which is always ruling their mind, that they are the kings and other people are the subservient, that kind of mindset has to go off. It's very, very important. You will see it in your practical day-to-day life. A question is put by an investor or by somebody else in that country to this side. They don't answer it quickly. Rather, they keep the man waiting 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. They make them to struggle. Although answer to them is available, they have to be answerable. They have to make it sure that the king which is sitting in your mind has to be changed to a servant. you have to become a subservient and you have to think like a businessman. A businessman does not stand as the king in his mind. He serves the people, he negotiates, he answers, he acts quickly, he acts fast. So that tendency is very much required. Another point which I want to emphasize is the population of the people, homogeneity, that they have to think together in one way. They have to think in their country, they have to take pride in the country, make the things easier and comfortable. They have to think in a joint way. They can think in joint way. I observed in my last visit to India in March, I observed that the people in the country have developed some sort of homogeneity and they are taking pride in their country. They are having a lot of confidence in them, which was not before. This is a good sign. They are taking pride to be an Indian. That's also much better, although it is not up to the level which is definitely required for the progress of any country. Any country, if it wants to improve, its people must take pride in their own country. That's a very important factor. If you are not having the pride in your country, of course, pride does not come so easily and so commonly unless there is something to feel pride. I think right now the government is in a good shape and can definitely take care of that. I'm also going to talk another point is that not only the what I call it is that I'm forgetting the point. That is that in India, when they face difficulties like in the Pokhran or what kind of the progress they have made some kind of progress which the country need to feel a pride, like they sent the mission on the Mars, and that kind of mission was not an easy, with a very low price of about 450 crore rupees. Is very small amount as regard the mission is concerned. It is even less than 1,000 crores. Malia has taken 9,000 crore of IDBI, and the finance institution is a just small part. Now, what I'm saying is that India could stand and could do this kind of work in spite of the many difficulties in the country, and they have made a historic event. This is not so easy to put the satellite with a cost of 450 crores only. This is the lowest cost ever made in the history of the world. Now, it's not, it's that only that out of many countries which were made independent after 1947, how many countries have done this kind of thing? Although we cannot sit on that one, but that does help the country to have the confidence to stand and overcome this present scenario of developing your own country in the economical way. Can India become number one country? Yes, they can if they keep in mind all the times. And I would say whether one or two or whatever this is there, I believe in it. The man who aims at a star shoots higher than a man who aims at a tree. That your aim has got to be higher. You achieve or not, that's a different thing. But if you start believing in yourself and you are believing you can stand with the difficulties and you can make the progress, and you can definitely start from the negative GDP to the positive GDP and can grow faster than other economies. So this is an opportunity. Avail this opportunity and grab it strongly. With these words, I'm ending it. I know it that there are various and large number of minus points in the countries, and I'm going to talk on those minus points also. I'll be coming up with a new video also. In the meantime, I wish you good luck and be strong and have a confidence in yourself, and you will be able to stand it. With these words, and good luck, and thank you very much. If you like my video, please share it with your friends, and if you do not like it, then of course it is very easy. It is not such a burden, and give your comments also. That I will appreciate. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and Jai Hind.